This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Frank, it's wonderful to be here in the Canadian Rockies with these great views, and we're reminded, too, of the rich history Canada has in the sport of golf.
It certainly does, Rich. It's part of the British Commonwealth. They love the game. They obviously adopted it from Scotland, but their golfing season a little shorter. So when they get a chance to get those clubs out, they certainly make the most of it.
We start off here at the first with a par 4, 414 yards. Frank, what's the key to playing this hole?
You can hit driver or 3-wood down there. Their only real concern, that bunker a long way down the left side. 3-wood would never reach that. And just a short iron in to a relatively flat green.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. Frank, how about the par 3 second hole?
The first of 5 par 3s the players will play today, Rich. This one's surrounded by bunkers, but certainly one of the shorter par 3s. So with a good tee shot here, you can imagine you could easily get a putt inside 10 to 15 feet for birdie. Oh, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for 2 in a row now.
A lip out's fine as long as it doesn't happen to you.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Frank, plenty of scoring opportunities in the early portion of this golf course. We're now at a par 5, the third hole, and it's only 528 yards.
You can see why we're going to see a lot of people perhaps being 3 under through the first 3 holes, Rich. This par 5 bending to the right, very reachable. You just keep that tee shot nice and high off the tee. Let it carry as far as possible.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. All right, Frank, what's the right play here on this second shot to the par 5 third?
Well, even though that hole is a dogleg to the right, the best way to bring it in actually is to use the general contours, which is right to left, and the shape of the shot in that direction as well. So it might look like a little cut, but it actually sets a little draw.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. So a tester from 4 feet. So Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. I'm very impressed.
Frank, when you play Banff, you get some of these wow moments where you stand on the tee and you say, ooh, look at
this is one. Yeah, this is one of them, Rich. Yeah, that the elevation change from tee to green is quite dramatic. Consequently, you're going to have to club down a little, at least 2 clubs shorter than what that yardage says on the card. This is a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That will be a great look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. How about that? 4 under par. Back on the tee here at Banff Springs, 5th hole, 424-yard par 4. What's the setup here, Frank?
Well, it's very tempting to try and hit a draw because that's the way in which the hole is shaped. But the main goal is to make sure that you can take that second bunker, the one on the left side, out of play with that tee shot. That's an absolute beauty.
Set now for the second shot, par 4 5th.
Just be aware of where the flag is. If it's cut in that front section, you definitely want to carry the front of the green. The hole is a little more difficult when they start to push that flag in the back left. You can see it narrow up there.
Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 6th hole, reasonably short at 373 yards, a lot of golfers arrive at a hole like this and they'll think, well, I'm just going to blast it away because it's such a short 4. You think these kinds of holes require a little more thinking?
They certainly do, Rich. If you can't drive it to the front edge of the green, there's no point really trying to hit it through that narrow neck. You can just sort of knock a 3-wood down there or something that's going to give you a decent yardage where you can at least spin that second shot. If you can guarantee that ball's going to stop when it lands, it's going to be much easier than trying to fashion some sort of pitch and run.
Safely aboard. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now to the long par 5 7th hole, 602 yards, Frank. They call it hoodoo.
Yeah, it's nothing for a little muscle man. Bust one up the tee there. Well, actually it is. You're going to need 2 of your best if you want to reach this par 5 and 2. So start with a good one.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Nice position. Short grass. Second shot.
Safely on the dance floor.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Continuing to play well, a birdie. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water, Frank, but only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
The distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Not an easy one, 20 feet away. Go ahead and do that. What a putt. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5. Interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one, not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one, you have to be a little bit careful though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Dialed in once again. She has played a superb approach shot. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Settles in over the putt. Well, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to -11 on the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. So off the long par 3/10, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally, down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Well, this would be nice. A fourth consecutive birdie. Heating up.
Run out of fingers.
Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Bow. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Bow. Dog legs to the player's right. A couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Good looking shot right here. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick.
Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Locked in on the read and the speed.
That is a solid par putt. Back here at the par 4 14th, and we are ready to tee off. 442-yard hole, Frank.
It's called wampum. My Canadian's not that good, so I don't know what that means, but the way I decipher it, another little dog leg to the right with bunkers all over the place. It's sort of in the place where you'd like to hit the tee shot is exactly where that crop of, what is that, 5 bunkers down the left side. So you're going to have to somehow squeeze it just right of that. Very awkward tee shot.
There's 80 yards left.
Rich, it's a different challenge today. The weather is so day-to-day out here, and when you get a breeze like this that's kicking up, you really have to sort of change your approach to playing these holes.
It looks nice out there, the blue skies, plenty of high sunshine, but it's a challenge because those winds have really freshened up. 15 under for the day. Now to the 15th tee, and Frank, this looks like a fun shot to hit.
It won't play its full yardage because of that elevated tee, but a good one out here. We might see one of those 350, 360-plus yard drives.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. For her birdie. Good putt. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunkie should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is the fairway, you'll certainly have. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
you love to watch him disappear, don't you? Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards of par 4, that is, you know you're going to get a short on your iron, you know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. Green does slope back to front, so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
Chance to get it close here. Frank, you've played golf all over the world. What are your impressions of Banff Springs?
It's nice, Rich. I was actually in Calgary many a year ago, and I'm disappointed I never got to play the Banff golf course. Getting to see it today, it's one that I would have put on my bucket list.
That has to feel good. That's a birdie. Well, Frank, this sets up for an exciting finish here at Banff Springs, a 578-yard par 5.
There's just about a bunker in play for every length of tee shot here, so know exactly which one you can carry and exactly which one you can't reach. What a great shot.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Excellent, perfect position.
Ball's just sitting up too. You could hit anything from there. Surely not.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.